Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah, today is a different kind of class because today we are going to touch upon our responsibility, right, as a Muslim in order to ensure that we are able to worship Allah in the best of manners. What do I mean by this? If somebody were not to feel well because of your poor choice of lifestyle, right? Should have used the word. It literally means it's your fault. Do you agree? Because, like it or not, an ability, apart from, of course, things that have already been, when you're born in that kind of state that you have no disabled or you have no not ability to see and to do things because of medical reasons, there's a different story, right? No. But for most people who are able, inshallah, to be able to born healthy, right, alhamdulillah, and you are supposed, or all of us are supposed, inshallah, to be able to take care of our body, which has been entrusted by Allah to ensure that we are able to do our best in terms of our acts of worship. And it's quite important, brothers, that being able to be fit and be able to worship the best of our abilities is not a coincidence or is not an accident, because everything is the choice that we make in our lives. Agreed? I mean, I now have, at 55, I have some illnesses, right? For example, high blood pressure, right? I cannot just make dua, Ya Allah, make me better, and I continue to eat chips and crisps, and it doesn't work like that, right? You do need to make the right choice, inshallah, in order for you and to be able to continue to worship Allah in the best of manners. Always remember, right? Allah said, "Wa'bud rabbaka hatta ya'tiyakal yaqin." Which surah is this? Verse number 99. Where's Osama? It's not here.
I'll take some, Chef.
Yeah, because he needs.
You're going to war in Yemen.
I didn't say that.
Against the Iranians.
What did I say?
What did you say?
He's going to Yemen for the war.
He told me.
Right. Yeah. So that means you need to worship Allah in the best of manners until death comes. Right. And it is as it is. For example, I'm sure in Egypt and you went, for those who went to Umrah, you can see, right, a lot of Arabs, they have pot bellies, isn't it true?
Huge bellies.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Right? And you cannot use an excuse of, oh, it's because my wife is cooking and therefore I'm like this. How on earth are you able to go, for example, if there is a war and then you're supposed to fight your country or the meals? How can on earth are you able to be fit and able to defend your family even? Yeah. In countries like my country, that all of us were obligatory for all of us to go for military training for 2.5 years, for the boys 18 until 21. Every year after that, we have to go back to retrain our fitness. So you have to pass all the tests, 5 kilometers run and all this, in order to make sure that you pass. If you don't pass, you have to go for another extra training. That means you miss your work in order to do that. This is how it is, that indirectly it forced us to keep fit, alhamdulillah. And because of that, I think one of the worst things that a person who is not healthy, it does affect the ability to have khushu in your salah, isn't it true? To be able to not able to stand up properly, right, and be able to do the salah as best as possible, inshallah. Right? So, even in the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as you know, was he fit, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Yes.
What was the story why he was fit? Okay, but besides that,
Mountain, no?
mountain
Mountain that we went up.
Oh yeah. But besides that, tell me, why was he fit?
When he died, he had no stomach.
No stomach.
No belly, like it wasn't coming.
Yeah. You got 8 packs. That's beside the point. But there's one incident. No, what you did a few weeks ago. What competition did you get?
Oh, wrestling.
Yes, he was able to beat the one of the best wrestlers in his time, and he always, because of his fitness, was able to be fit, right? And we know, of course, out of his choice, he's not like the current rulers today, and not like the Persian rulers and the Roman rulers where they're so rich and they have everything that they want. He was, with his choice, he was able to give all his wealth. Or even in the wives, when they were asked, "Do you have any food?" And he said, "No." Then I will fast today. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam do not have any food in the house, right? And this is how it is. How in his time he was very fit, and he was, as some of you said, and he was competing with running with his wife. He was able to do horseback riding and all this, horse riding, right? And he was archery was very, very famous in those days, and he was able to do all this. I think, and he was quite commonly seen also with a string on his waist. What is a string for?
Rice belly.
Yeah, what is it for?
Stop his hunger.
Yeah, but it is an indication that he hasn't eaten for days.
Yes.
Yeah, brothers, his hunger is not like your hunger and my hunger. That in which when you open the fridge, there's always food there, right? Some of you may have burgers in your house, and on the fridge, all the cheese. Sorry, some people that have other products in the house in the fridge, right?
Yes, mix up with the salt.
Right? But for him and his wives, right? When they're hungry means they completely have no food at all in the house. Right? Of course, it's their choice that they want to give to others who are more needing of the food. Remember when there was a person who asked for food to Aisha radhiyallahu anha, what did she do? She only had one date, I think, right? And she split the date. I think she gave the whole date. I can't remember, but this had it. So in the sense that they're very quite attentive on their diet and on their food, right? Unlike the Arabs you see today when they go to Umrah, it's very different, right? And so this is something in which we do need to go back to our roots. That means to go back to the ability to ensure that the body that Allah entrusted upon us are taken care of properly. Agreed? Right? So that means literally the body will have to we need to exercise parts of the body in order to ensure that you are able to, especially to worship Allah in the best of manner. That's the most important thing, right? Any questions so far before I move on to these two gentlemen at my side? One of them is wearing coat, but we need to see your credentials. Right? So they are, alhamdulillah, they are into fitness, right? And so they're able to share with us the important things that we do need to ensure about, especially on dieting, and on how to lead a healthy lifestyle. Now, alhamdulillah, I've been to the gym ever since I was 17, 18 until today, right? It doesn't make sense for you to go to the gym and then you don't control your diet. It doesn't work, right? You have to control that. Even about fasting, right? Even the medical journals has encouraged all of us to fast at least twice a week. Agreed? Right. And that itself makes it healthy. So of course, for us as Muslims, we do need to make sure your intention is for fasting is not because of fitness. It is to worship, to please Allah. That's very important, right? Your reward will be according to intention. What is the hadith? Yes. What does it mean?
Where the actions are did by intentions, each man will get intended.
Yes. Your reward will be according to what you have intended. So make sure, yes, as we discussed about fitness and all this, but when you start to fast, make sure your intention it is to please Allah first. Same thing as Ramadan, right? A lot of people will have the intention, especially the sisters, right? Oh, Ramadan coming, I'm going to lose weight, right? If that's your first intention, subhanAllah, you're finished. Then your reward is according to what you gain. Of course, it's a reward to maintain your diet and so you can worship Allah better. But it is important that you fast because of Allah. Yes.
But as Ramadan comes, they start to talk about the weight.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, because like I don't know why I always say the Arabs. Indian, but the Arabs itself, right? They spend the whole night. They spend the whole night what? eating, right? Right? It's always eating. You can, if you go to your Umrah in Ramadan, you will see that the whole restaurants are open 24 hours a day. And as Bilal said, many people would gain weight in Ramadan than lose weight, right? So it is important because people think that, oh, I haven't eaten lunch and dinner. That means for that iftar, I'm going to eat both lunch and dinner together, right? So double the portion. And subhanallah, when you are fasting, what happens to your stomach? It shrinks. And then you're stuffing all the food, right? And the worst thing, some of you after that, you miss your tarawih, you sleep all the way until Fajr. And because of that, a lot of people actually, as Bilal said, a lot of people actually gain weight unhealthily in Ramadan. Yeah, it's not good, right? Okay, so let's continue, inshallah, for the brothers. If for the people at home, this is brother Charlie, this is brother Bilal, right? We still haven't seen the credentials of Bilal. Yeah. Okay, so I hand it over to them, inshallah, so they're able to help us to understand about the dietary and fitness requirement all of us should have, inshallah, at a minimum level. Jazakumullah khair. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, so everyone here knows Charlie, and everyone hopefully inshallah knows me. I know I don't come as regular as Charlie. My name is Bilal.
Why?
Fitness and stuff, come on. Yeah, I have to be in the gym. Stuff like that. So me and Charlie have had different experiences coming up with fitness and diet in Ramadan, out of Ramadan, and maybe we'll start with how me and him have dealt with things through our years.
Yeah.
So coming into Ramadan, how did you find it as a revert, brother?
As a revert, I've had now 2 Ramadans, I think. And I didn't find it too hard because I'd been doing some fasting even before I was Muslim because of the different benefits of it. For example, there's a thing called autophagy, which is when you fast for a long time without food or water, your body can start killing off the bad cells in your body, the cancerous cells and stuff. So I tried that out a bit to see how it felt. So I've done a lot of fasting. So it wasn't too hard for me going into my first.
Was it intermittent fasting or water fasting?
Yeah, no water as well, because that's you have to have no food and no water for the autophagy to start.
How long would that take? Just for anyone who doesn't know.
I think it takes quite a long time. For some people, it can happen after like 24 hours. Some people longer than that. So you have to fast for a really long time. In Russia, there's still some old practices that they do where they have no food or water for up to 4 weeks, anywhere from like 1 to 4 weeks of nothing, no food, no water, not even a shower, because they don't want the water to go in through the skin, and that kills a lot of diseases over there. So yeah, I tried that out. So my first Ramadan wasn't too hard. It wasn't too much of a shock to my system.
Would you say that it was 4 weeks is a bit too excessive? But...
Yeah, probably for most people. But I've seen some videos and they say it cures a lot of diseases that the West finds hard to cure. So, yeah.
So I think fasting in science, there's many benefits to it. There's benefits such as stabilizing insulin levels, boosting your energy levels. A lot of people think when you fast that you're automatically going to feel tired. It's actually the opposite way around. Especially initially, you'll find that you're able to think better, you're able to think a bit more freer. You'll be, at least if you're eating the correct foods. This is what I think.
So that means a person who's taking exams, they should fast, isn't it?
100%. I think it's very cowardly not to fast.
Just saying for somebody's benefit.
I think, like I heard recently, there was a surgeon who was undertaking a brain operation. And he actually fasted so he could concentrate better.
Wow.
Yeah. So it didn't spike his energy levels. It didn't, decrease anything.
So can you emphasize that those who are taking exams or tests should fast?
100%.
See?
150%.
Why should I fast when I take an exam?
I don't even know how to reply to him.
Sorry?
Because
No. I'm talking about some people. I won't mention the names, right? When it comes to the Sunnah fast, and they say that, oh, I'm having exam, so I do not want to fast Sunnah fast, right? So actually, it should be contrary to this.
It's very contrary to that. I completely agree.
It's not for me.
It'll help you focus. Definitely. I think there's other examples are it dramatically reduce the risk of chronic diseases, like you were saying. Stop sugar cravings and hunger pangs. And it's also a good way to lose weight. I know a lot of people don't think this, and most people end up putting on weight in Ramadan. But it's because, I'm looking at you Pakistanis and Somalis and Arabs and wherever you're from usually. It boosts the growth hormone naturally. So I think that's very important as well. For someone who likes to go to the gym, having a good, healthy level of HGH in the body is very, very important.
What is it? What's HGH?
Human growth hormone. It lowers triglycerides and prevents Alzheimer's, decreases your risk of serious health issues, reduces free radicals from cell damage, slow down the aging process. I bet you guys didn't know that one. It can slow down aging process. And better brain health, longer attention span while feeling more alert and focused. I think that's very important. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think one of the main things, the reasons that it does a lot of that is just because you're giving the body a rest, a break from having to break down so much food every day, all the time, throughout the day. So it's just giving the body a rest and allowing it to focus on other processes inside the body.
I completely agree with you. What about when you go to the gym, Charlie? How do you find that? Because a lot of people, I find, during the month of Ramadan, they get really I wouldn't say lazy. I'd say they almost feel sorry for themselves. They're like, oh, I'm fasting. I can't do this. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So how did you find that? I know you said you were fasting beforehand. Did you find it hard? Do you have a specific time that you recommend? I can tell you my time as well.
Yeah, the way I planned was just when I would wake up, I'd go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier when you're fresh than when you've been fasted in for hours and you might start feeling a bit tired, and it's harder to do it later in the day. So I'll just get out of the way first thing.
And you didn't have any repercussions? You didn't feel too thirsty?
No, I felt fine because I don't usually drink water while I'm training, just to make it a little bit harder. So yeah, when I was fasting, it wasn't too hard. It was just the timing. If I left it too late in the day, then I could be kind of tired.
When do you fast? When do you go to the gym during the fasting?
When do I go?
Which part of the day?
Probably like just before Dhuhr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, better.
I agree.
I think when you leave it later, you feel so tired.
Yeah.
Do you know what I found? Well, what I've always done is when I first started training, which was about 16, 15, when I used to go to the gym, I used to go after Taraweeh. But I find that for me personally, I think for everyone, I don't recommend it because you end up wasting time.
Yeah.
And a lot of brothers are doing that.
Yeah.
In the gyms.
There are a lot of them in the gym. It's not just that. I'd rather be reading Quran or doing tahajjud or something more beneficial.
Yeah. Or eating, because you're allowed to eat at that time.
You can eat. You could eat as well. But I find it just a waste of time for myself. So what I do is I finish work, any plan I have, whatever, I'll go about an hour and a half to 2 hours before iftar time. And I find that good because if your body gets used to it, you won't be lacking energy.
Yeah.
Especially in the first few weeks, you'll be fully up for it. I think. Yeah. So I find that it doesn't really affect you. I think the strength levels are there, especially if you keep up for it.
I think it's all about mental.
Yeah.
It is mental.
You think about fasting, I'm going to die, all the drama.
I think there was a lot of key battles as well during the month of Ramadan as well.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's not. It's okay. It's all right.
So now, since you told us the benefits that we have for fasting scientifically, now how do you change your intentions back for the sake of Allah? And not like having
100%. You're very, very right. But I thought we were doing the key benefits of fitness and fasting.
No, but in the beginning, when you do your fasting, you have intention in the morning, right? You have to do intention in the morning, right? You already intention for the sake of Allah anyway. This is just a bonus.
Yeah, of course, what I'm saying is not hard to kind of, because deep down you know the reason why.
No. I think
you know when your personal desires, you're doing that for Allah, but whatever you're doing after is brilliant. Like if you're working on that's brilliant. But if you feel hungry, you want to take a snack. That specific act is the fast, which is for Allah. So you can
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. But and also the intention, you can always renew it all the time anyway. I'm doing for the sake of Allah. So yeah, it's not just for one. All the time you do, you know in your heart you do it for the sake of Allah. But shaitan is always there, right? But perhaps you want to get a beautiful wife, and this is one of the processes to go to the gym, right? Yeah. So always renew your intention, inshallah. As I always do, renew my intention, inshallah.
So, do you have any tips as well that you do that make you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while you're training or getting ready to train or anything as well?
Well, so
I think just always being conscious of it, having taqwa will help you to have your intentions be pure, and even if you're doing it for the sake of Allah, it's still going to be hard. You're still going to have those temptations to eat or something. So if you weren't doing it for the sake of Allah, you'd probably have a little snack here and there, even when you should be fasting. But you know, if your intentions are to do it for the sake of Allah, then you're always going to be able to say no to that stuff. So I'm sure your intention should stay pure.
I have those questions, sorry.
That's all right.
Niall first.
I was gonna say, the one thing we're talking about hunger, but that should be on like the thing we should be talking about the least, because if hunger is the only thing you think about during Ramadan, then you failed your Ramadan anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's all you've achieved.
Yeah.
So I think the main point the good point that Brother said is to not do it during the night, because these are the best 10 nights in Ramadan. So do it outside. Get used to doing it outside, so then you're able to spend your nights
And maximize the time.
it's maximizing the time
Yeah.
worshipping Allah, instead of like what a lot of brothers do, and I've done at one point as well. is Instead of after Tarawih reading more Quran, doing X, Y, and Z, you're just exercising, because then you're just putting. Allah's telling you these are the best 10 nights. But you're like, let me train. You're not gonna get you're not gonna push stronger because of this.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, as I said, it's all about mental.
It's mental strength. I think a lot of it is about mental strength.
Yeah.
Just getting to the gym sometimes can be the hardest part. And when you're there, what I find that helps me out is when I go with a group of brothers. If you're with brothers, your intention is not just going to be on the gym. You're going to be speaking about things. You're fasting anyway, so how far can you go off subject anyways? But when I go with a good group of brothers, they're going to remind me about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're going to remind me about the deen of Islam. They're going to remind me about the Quran. They're going to remind me about the good and the bad. While we're training. So it's also something beneficial to you. It's not just physically, but also mentally. You're getting good points from here and from there.
Alvin?
Yes, I want to ask regarding protein shakes.
Yeah.
Now, I know if you define, for example, natural, but like it's only natural if it doesn't add like hormones to your body or like like Trexide or whatnot. But when I say natural, I mean like just a natural, let's say before protein shakes were invented. Now, what's the side effects of, or if there is any, of protein shakes? Is it really that natural as they say?
Plenty of there's side effects with protein shakes. So I personally take protein shakes myself. I'll even sometimes I'll have my bit of a date and water, and then I'll have a protein shake. It's a quick way to get protein in. But you have to remember that whey is the remnants, the leftover of cheese, milk. It's the dirty stuff. It's not clean. It's not good. It's going to bloat you. It's going to make you feel sick. It makes you want to go to the bathroom. It will make you excrete, basically.
So avoid it.
I'm not saying avoid it.
If you can get it through food.
If you can get it through food, 100%. Nutritionally speaking, you can absorb more protein through food than you can from a protein shake. Anyways, anything supplementation wise, you can only absorb a maximum of about 12 to 15%. Maximum. You could be on 3%, you could be on 4%. Food wise, you can absorb a lot more. Especially if you're taking extracurricular things as
well. My doctor, he did told me a couple months ago. He said the dairy product, cheese and the milk, when you reach certain age, you must try to avoid it. Because what it did, get up nucleus in your body, and every time you cough, is a flame coming. Where the flame coming from is the dairy.
The dairy, yeah. 100%. So to some extent they're right as well. But also it's the way that the way sometimes cheese is manufactured as well nowadays. It's all of these extra things they put in it. So like if you think about milk isn't milk anymore. They go through a different process.
It's still milk. So it must hurt you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you see in Brazil and there's some place where they make cheese, in the cellar of Benin, you have to put that cheese there. That cheese will be there for days, and till it start get like
Moldy,
going off.
yeah.
Start smell up and all them. That's the time they process it to make the cheese. I was saying to myself that why they couldn't process it before that happened, before it started to go off.
That's fermented, isn't it?
So we're eating, going off food. So if you gonna eat rotten food, go down inside of your belly, it is gonna harm you. What it's gonna do, it's gonna make you go to the big regular. I see some of the brothers them can't even stay in there 2 minutes. To the big house, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I count some brother going to that big house more than 5 times brother for the day.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's true with the dairy product.
Yeah.
Because those brothers, they can't let it in bun and cheese, and when they go to the cafe downstairs, they make them pour this heavy baccarat milk in them tea. No, you don't need so much milk either.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't need milk either.
Yeah.
Drink your tea without milk and you enjoy it even more.
Yeah. Now, before we continue, do you guys have a structured thing to go through, or you are? Let's finish off this. What you have.
So structure-wise, yes, we do, alhamdulillah. But I think we were just gonna, we can go through it. Why do we fast? I'm sure you'll cover that yourself, anyways, inshallah. Fasting in science is just quick, and we can go through like a nutritional food plan as well, guys, and maybe like a training routine that we both recommend as well, inshallah.
So we leave the questions at the end, inshallah.
Yeah, I think it's better because then it will disrupt the flow of the talk.
Yeah, Bismillah.
So, does anyone know what health means? Can anyone define it? Got a definition for it?
The ability to do work.
Health.
Yeah.
Health.
I say if you're someone's healthy,
Yeah.
they have the ability to do work.
Okay.
When your body is functioning in its intended way, and then you supplement it to do so correctly.
You mean health or healthy?
Health.
It's just like or external conditions of your body, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the closest one. So it's your mental and your physical preparedness. Yeah, so how well you can do things mentally and physically. So the mental side gets dealt with a lot with the things that we do in Islam, and the physical sides as well. So we'll go through mainly the physical sides because the mental sides are gone through every week, inshallah, with Ustad. So Islam is the middle path. Yeah, so perhaps it means that we're not supposed to be too fat or too skinny. Yeah, somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle, nice and healthy.
Good weight.
Yeah. And we've got hadiths that support this. For example, in Sunan Ibn Majah, is Mikdam bin Madi Karib said, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, a human being fills no worse vessel than his stomach. It is sufficient for a human being to eat a few mouthfuls to keep his spine straight. But if he must fill it, then one third of food, 1/3 for drink, and 1/3 for air. Right, so we have to remember this when we're eating, when we're breaking our fast for iftar, to make sure that we're not filling it too much with the foods or the liquids, so that we can leave some room for air, so that we're able to go to Isha, do Tarawih, and feel comfortable while we're doing this, and be able to have khushu when we're praying. Yeah, we don't want to be uncomfortable during those times.
Yeah, so I'd also like to add in I'm sure everyone knows this, all Muslim personal trainers like to use this one. So it's narrated by Abu Huraira, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a strong believer is better and more beloved in the sight of Allah than a weak believer. However, there is a good in both types. Be eager to carry out such deeds that will benefit you, and seek Allah's assistance, and do not become lax. If something afflicts you, do not say, if only I had done such and such. You should say instead, Allah has decreed, and He does as He wishes. For the word law opens way for shaitan. Sahih Muslim 2664.
The word is what, sorry?
Low.
Low.
Sorry, translation said law.
Yeah. So perhaps this is talking about definitely talking about the mental side of things, so having strong iman. Obviously, if you've got stronger iman, it's going to be better in the eyes of Allah than someone that has weak iman. Also, it could be talking about the physical side of things as well, because we are supposed to be strong as Muslims, ready to fight, ready to defend our people. And for example, does anyone know why we show our right shoulders when we're performing Umrah, when we're doing Tawaf? You know?
So flex on the key.
Yeah.
Literally to show we're strong.
Yeah. So it was said that the Muslims were weak. So the Prophet ﷺ told us to expose our right shoulder when we're doing Tawaf in Umrah, so that because when we're going anti-clockwise, our right shoulder is on the outside, right? Showing to all the people that are watching. And we're supposed to be showing that we're strong, that we're able to fight. Yeah, show that we have our muscles. So obviously it makes no sense if you're going there and you're just, fat like some of the nationalities that Ustad said.
All of them.
And it makes no sense if you're showing off your shoulder like that and there's nothing to show. So you want to make sure, for example, when you're going to the gym, have this maybe in the back of your mind that you're one day when you're doing Umrah that you're able to have something to show, something to.
Somebody doesn't have triceps.
Wait, you're gonna be adopted.
No, I'm thinking about somebody.
I only see biceps.
Yeah.
Extra biceps.
As we're based on our actions are based off of our intentions. When you're going to the gym or when you're doing any exercise to become stronger, if your intentions are to be able to perform Umrah well, to be able to pray well, do the Salah, to be able to perform Hajj, then you'll be rewarded for this more, inshallah.
Can I just add one more thing? I think from experience is that as we get older, as I am, I think the way or how it's getting more difficult for me to do Umrah because your bones are getting weaker and all this and things that pain is just here and there. And so it is important, brothers, at your age, you should try to perform Umrah as soon as you can because must take advantage of your health, inshallah.
Also, I think that we can add to that as well in the sense that when it says a strong believer, I think that obviously spiritually and Islamically, of course, mentally as well, but having a strong body can help you in your duties as well. For example, praying. For example, Ustad said that as you get older, you start to notice things in your joints. That, for example, things that such as weightlifting. It's scientifically known to strengthen your bones, strengthen your joints if you're doing certain things to help you perform certain movements. There's 60, 70-year-olds out there doing, I'm not suggesting you go to 60, 70 to the gym or send your grandma to the gym, but they're doing deadlifts and it's helping their back. How many older people or younger people do you know with back pain or hip pain or things like this? So being active can really reduce the risk of give me a few examples, please, of why can't I remember the name? Osteoporosis.
Basically means basically like having weak bones, basically. Weak bones. Osteoporosis. So lifting weights can help prevent that.
Definitely.
So, yeah, and I think an important thing to know is the people that are 70 years old that are able to go to the gym and still lift heavy weights. The reason they're able to do it is because they've been doing it their whole lives. Most of them probably haven't started at 65 or something. They've been doing it their whole lives. So our bodies are designed to move. And if you stop doing these things for a long time, then it can be hard to get back into it. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're doing these things throughout your life. So that's a really good thing about Islam is when we do the Salah, we're going down onto the floor, 17 times a day, minimum. But if you're doing this your whole life from when you're young, you're going to be a lot more stronger in your older age compared to non-Muslims.
Non-Muslim, you can barely bend down.
Definitely.
100%. I think that's very important because one thing that if you go to, elderly people who, for example, get a knee injury or a leg injury, as soon as they send them to a physiotherapist, what's the first thing they give them? Exercise. They're going to give them pills. They're going to give them exercise as their treatment. They're going to say, do this. And a lot of the time, it could be sitting in a chair for someone who can't move and lifting their leg up. That's how simple it is. But we, as a nation, we just get lazy and lazy, especially within the Arab countries, the Pakistani.
Pakistanis?
I have a bit of a grudge against them. No. People. Too many samosas, isn't it?
So another one ask question just now?
I was going to say, it's also like when your mum calls you and she needs your help, you need to be able to help her Like she wants to move a fridge. Can't really do that.
And when you're married,
Yeah.
your wife wants to ask you, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, move this, do that, and you can't. Or you're gonna pay someone else to do it.
Mm.
So you need to be strong. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think it's very important to be able to move. I think a big blessing is that people don't realize how important your human body is and how important the fitness and be able to move. You know, for example, your knees and everything properly without it. Take you know the hadith 5 before 5, health before it goes, right? So that also means that your joints, your body, your muscles, everything before they deteriorate. You're only going to have a certain amount of muscle for a certain amount of time before it deteriorates if you don't do anything about it. And then you get frail, your joints will go, your back goes, your neck goes, everything will go. So one way to maintain it or to even stay at the top of your game or the best of your game for as long as possible is through fitness. And you might say, oh, how does that help me with Islam? Like Ustad said, Umrah, praying Salah, things like this, just basic things will help you. You know, at the end of the day, no one wants to lose half of their reward for praying in a chair when they could be standing and gain the full reward when you're older.
So I think it's important to know the basics, the fundamentals about being able to lose or gain weight. So does anyone know what macronutrients and micronutrients are? Does anyone know the difference?
Oh, he needs to gain weight.
He needs to gain weight, that's all right.
Micronutrients, like the ones you need in like minuscule amount, like the vitamins and everything, and macros are like your fat, your carb, your protein.
Yeah.
So like the stuff you measure in grams.
Yeah. So micronutrients are the things, vitamins and minerals, kind of things that your body needs to be able to perform its functions and stuff, take care of your hormone levels, etc. And then macronutrients are like now said proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Right. So they're the things that make up the amount of calories that we have throughout the day. Yeah. So does anyone know how we lose or gain weight based on macronutrients? Apart from that,
Is it on how much those macro
needs to be macronutrients.
macronutrients.
Yeah.
So the more you work out, the more
Yeah.
energy is needed.
Yeah.
More carbohydrates are broken down.
I've got another question. Does anyone know what BMR is?
BMR.
It's linked to this.
BMR.
Yeah.
What is it BMI?
No.
What's the long?
Basal metabolic rate.
Basal metabolic rate. Yeah.
How fast your body,
How much, for example, any energy does it use during the day? How much calories do you burn by doing nothing?
Yeah.
Does anyone know anything? How much yours is roughly? Anyone? You.
1,500 to 2,000.
So that's what's recommended. But what recommended doesn't go on people's weight. It doesn't go on how much they work out or muscle. It doesn't go on anything. But that's very, very good. But someone like Charlie, his big BMR could be like 4,000 calories.
Yeah.
But normally speaking, it depends on your height, weight, muscle, how active you are. The more active you are, your BMR will be higher. It calculates online quite easy. Obviously, there's ways to do it in person as well, machines, but calculate online.
Yeah.
the more muscle you have, like proportion of your body, the higher your BMR.
You could say that, but I think that, no, that's not true at all. It can go up and down, but it wouldn't be affected by too much. Exercise is probably one of the only things that will affect it a little bit. So, for example, someone who has 1,800 calorie BMR, would you like to advise what they could do to lose weight? Macronutrients.
Yeah. So if you wanna, whatever your BMR is, if you wanna gain weight, then you'd want to be about 300 calories over that consistently, like every day. And if you want to lose weight, you just want to be about 300 calories under that consistently again every day. And then over time, slowly, you'll see your weight go up or down on the scale, whatever you want, as long as you're being consistent. So I think with a bit of trial and error and tracking your weight on the scale, you can find out roughly what your BMR is. Yeah.
So I personally, I usually say you can do less than that. I'd say 150 or 200 both ways, even less. It's just about being consistent. I think that's the most important thing. And normally in Ramadan, yeah, this is the funny part. If your calorie intake for the day is 1800 and you're getting in 1800 calories, eating proper food is very difficult to get that in. If you're eating, you know, your samosas, sambusas, or whatever you're eating, yeah, give me some please. Parathas, cakes, chicken wings, pizza, burgers, chips. You're gonna get it very easily. That's how most people end up putting on weight in Ramadan. They eat fast food. They're preparing all night for oily chicken wings or whatever, lamb curries or whatnot.
So they put too much.
It's too much calories.
Too much
Calories
calories.
that your body doesn't need, so just stores it.
100%. You've been hungry. Imagine this, yeah. You've not eaten anything all day, and the first thing that you put into your stomach is something oily. And what's in our stomach? Acid. How's it going to react? Yeah, it's not going to like it. That's why when you go pray next to the person next to you in the masjid sometimes, what the nastiest burps. Sorry.
Especially the Asians.
Yeah, Asians. Yeah, and they blow it as well.
Yeah.
So it's better than before you start the fasting. I feel say it's better to have a cup of mint tea to kill that.
While you're fasting.
Add cup of mint tea.
No, when you break the
Not while you're fasting. When you fast.
Sorry, that's why I didn't have to respond to that.
You're breaking the fast because you said that thing here that below that we call it again gas.
The gas, basically.
Yeah. It sometimes it have a way of going on.
Well, that's why we have the water.
Underneath your arteries and all these blades. So what you do now, the mint tea now help you to move it. So you belch it off before you tackle any other food.
Mint tea helps digest things, but it doesn't help you burn the fat. Or people say with green tea, it can help speed up. Green tea will help speed up your metabolism, but I wouldn't have that on an empty stomach because that will just make you go to the bathroom.
No, green tea will make you vomit too if you don't.
Yeah. So water and dates, and then some milk, and then you go pray your maghrib, and you go come back and you just eat something healthy.
Yes, water and dates.
Yeah. If anything, you could be having some apple cider vinegar, like a spoon of that. That will help balance your pH level as well.
Yes.
That's the good stuff.
Yes.
Okay, one more question. Yes.
So when you break your fast, my family, they like to get a lot of fruits. So is that good?
Yeah, fruits are fine. There's nothing wrong with fruits at all. They're natural.
I heard that if you have like fruits when you're really hungry, it's like really good.
I love it when people say, I heard. Who told you this? It's like the, you know, when they come with the story, I heard this in Islam. it's just a myth. As long as, how much fruit can you have? If you have a whole bowl of berries, 200-300 calories. It's not a lot.
Well, like it's like a mixture of fruits, like fruit salad.
That's fine. Fruit salad is better. It could be worse, unless you disagree.
No, I think the best thing to break your fast with is the sunnah. And it's
Dates and water.
There's a lot of benefits to breaking your fast with a date.
Watermelon as well is the best.
Oh, so nice. Watermelon juice.
That is from Jana. Watermelon.
Are we mixed them up?
Continue.
Okay. So,
Should we have tips to lose weight and tips to gain weight?
yeah, should we do the workout routine? So first, or
I thought we'd do that then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So yeah, let's do that.
Alright, so we'll give you now some tips to lose weight. So does anyone have any tips on how to lose weight?
Fasting.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
There's some
Calorie
food, like what I said, where it'll fill you up, but it won't be a lot of calories.
Yeah.
So things like, I don't know, like popcorn, for example.
Vegetables.
Vegetables.
Soup's a good one.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's just it's a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
So like, if it's 7,700 calories is 1 kg. So if you're 300 every single day in the negative,
Yeah.
then after, I don't know, 20 days you'll lose 1 kg.
Yeah.
So, Oh, that's not max, but like
Adam?
If you want to maintain your muscles, I think it's good to eat a lot of meat and just less carbs because that's the main.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that, but how much can your body actually turn into muscle? So if you have, I don't know, if you weigh 70 kilos and you're having 200 grams of chicken breast and the amount of protein in your diet, that's not very sensible either. From a protein aspect, that's great. From a nutritional aspect, you can really end up damaging your kidneys as well by having too much protein. A lot of people end up on dialysis machines by having 400 or 500 grams of protein, and it's not going anywhere. What are you doing with it? So it has to be relative to your weight. It has to be relative to how much you're using. If you're just going gym for a light jog, and you're coming home having 200 grams of chicken breast, or you got to be careful of that as well, because if it doesn't go anywhere, what's going to happen? It's going to stay in it's going to stay in your system. So you have to be careful with how much you have as well, especially with food. A lot of people don't realize this. Food will either make you or break you. If you want to be large, food will destroy you. If you want to be in good shape, food can really help you. You just have to know what you want and how much you want of it.
So let's say on this online, for example, I read some, let's say, nutrition advice. It says 100 grams of chicken breast has around, let's say, 40 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Is that after it's been fried or cooked, or with water content? Like, what is?
So normally for me, I usually weigh the food after I've cooked it.
And that's why it's 100 grams after it's been cooked, the water, not the level.
Yeah, after,
You weigh?
No, when I weigh it, if I weigh it.
Okay,
now,
every time you eat, you weigh.
No. I used to when I was competing for something or the other.
Competing for what?
Amateur weightlifting. I never went into bodybuilding because it's a bit, I thought I was going to at one stage, and alhamdulillah, I stayed away from it. It's a bit, fruity. No, not speedos, shorts.
I think so. By cutting down your portion.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have nothing more to do more than cut down your portion.
Because not only that, right? The hadith, right? 1/3 food, 1/3
water,
1/3 air.
I don't want any air, so I'll keep 2/3.
Isn't that the max? The hadith says that's the maximum. If you
Yes.
were to fill,
Yes.
then do that.
Yeah.
So it's not suggested do that.
No,
Everyone always goes to the end and says, yeah.
There's a
1/3,
minimum,
That's
Somebody doesn't want air.
Yeah. So Albanians
So-
don't need to breathe.
No, the other thing is another product. Okay, anymore?
Yeah, so one that's been missed is move more. So obviously when you move, you burn more calories. So running, any sports that you want to do, anything in the gym, you can do that as well. Will help you lose weight. And doing the sunnah fast. So if you're fasting Mondays and Thursdays, you can gain more rewards from Allah.
Do more tahajjud, inshallah.
Do more tahajjud. Yeah, and you can gain more of Allah's love if you do the extra acts of worship. So yeah, those are two things you can do as well. And then the opposite, if anyone needs to gain weight, basically is just do the opposite of all those things. Yeah, and just make sure you're having breakfast and eating, from when you wake up until you go to sleep. So if you're eating for more hours, you'll probably be able to get in more calories. And just make sure you have food readily available in the house.
And is it advisable to what do you advise the last before we sleep? How many hours did we must have the last meal before we sleep?
That's a good question, because as you get older, it takes longer to digest your food. Normally speaking, nutritionally speaking, it takes about 4 to 6 hours to digest your meal. So you do need at least a good 4 hours, I'd say, before you sleep. I think if you sleep at, I don't know, 12 o'clock, you got to try and get your meal in about 8, just so you're relaxed, because your body, it takes energy to digest food.
And if you don't, you will put on weight, right?
No, that's
no,
a myth.
it's not okay.
Yeah, it's a huge myth.
So if not, it's okay. It doesn't.
But then, for example, you wake up in the morning, sometimes you've got acid, you feel like throwing
up
or something.
Yes.
Because the food hasn't been digested properly. Or you've eaten something really oily or unhealthy.
Okay.
Sleeping will help you lose weight.
Say that again?
Sleeping will help you lose weight.
No.
if you've got, because as you said, if you eat just before you sleep, let's say, 30 minutes before you sleep.
Okay, later,
then
after
instead of
Maghrib.
your stomach resting,
The second
right,
half.
it's just digesting while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
And if you don't rest properly, then it's harder for you to lose the weight, isn't it?
If you don't, so say that last
If
part.
you do not rest properly, like your body throughout the day, you're tired, then it's harder for you to lose weight, isn't it?
Not really, because you can lose weight by being active, can't you? Even though you're tired, but you can, lose weight for being active. I think it's, yeah.
Like walking
Alhamdulillah. Adam first.
Okay.
So I was going to ask, do you know the hadith about one-third, one-third, one-third? How do you combine that with trying to gain muscle or trying to build?
Do you know what? That's a great question. And I was actually going to reply to Charlie there myself and say, Islamically speaking, yeah, those brothers who want to gain weight, it's very difficult to do that sometimes because to do it Islamically as well, we're not meant to be completely full to the point where on the brim where you can't move and stuff. We've all been there. You eat some good food, you can barely walk.
I think also, sorry to cut you off. I think when you burp, that means you're eating too much. Is it true? I heard.
That's a good question. I think you're over. It's like gas, isn't it? So yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, why Coca-Cola was originally invented? So people could get rid of their gas, digest their food. That's actually why it was originally it was a medicine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but look what it's turned into. But yeah, so trying to gain weight, I think the best thing to do is in the gym. That's why we can speak about the gym. Like lifting heavy.
Do the weight, does the weight gainer helps?
Lifting weights 100% will
No,
help.
weight gain.
No, weight gainer.
Oh, weight gainer.
Because I was very skinny last time.
Do you know what? I've taken weight gainers. I have never been in more pain in my life.
Really?
Charlie, you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't tried them,
No,
but
no,
I think
say
it's
weight,
better
my
just to stick to
They taste good. Tastes like milkshake.
No, but when I took weight gainers, I gained weight.
You will do.
Because I was very skinny last
You
time.
will do. I went with one of my friends started 60 kilos. He ended up at 84.
I'm really scared of these
They're not
nutritional,
good.
like, kind of things.
They're not good.
They're not good. 100% they're not good.
Very good, okay.
Too much sugar. Like one,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They're
right.
one
basically
portion
all-
has more sugar than Coca-Cola times 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What has?
Okay. Bilal, sorry.
Yeah. What about walking, say, 3-4 miles a day? Like I would have walked from here to, from Brixton to here and from Brixton back. That will help you to lose the weight.
100%. Keep it
I
active.
know because one time I tried and come down very, very, very hard, the belly drop off. I couldn't eat again. Yes.
Yeah. You should do. Keeping active is very good,
Yeah.
inshallah.
I think for me personally, one of the best things to lose weight it is to cut off all the sweet drinks and
Yeah.
all these.
Anything processed sugar.
Yeah.
To get
You
weight,
stay away from. So that is really helpful.
Yeah.
to get weight, what do you do?
To gain
To
weight.
gain weight. So as the brother Charlie here was saying, is you need to be in a caloric surplus. So you need to, whatever you eat, you need to make sure you're eating more essentially. Maybe more carbohydrates, more fats, more protein. You just need to be consuming more.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, shall we stop for Maghrib, inshallah? Come back, inshallah, after Maghrib. Jazakallah khair. We'll see you, inshallah, after Maghrib.
Yeah, carry everything.